And you guys been around this country at all?
State House.
I want you to look at the State House and tell me if it looks like something you've seen somewhere else. This was actually designed by a local architect by the name of Charles Bullfinch, who also helped design and build the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. There are some similarities between the two. They're going to travel down the north slope of Beacon Hill. The south slope of Beacon Hill, where Beacon Street is, always in the sun, always a very desirable neighborhood. The north slope, not always in the sun, not always a desirable neighborhood. But over here, you're right, you'll find Suffolk University, Suffolk Law School. I'm going to ask a question, a little funny for myself. How many of you have been lost in this city? Anybody have lost? Okay, you know what this tells me? If you have never been lost in this city, you've not gone anywhere. I'm out from Massachusetts, and I get lost 2 or 3 times a day, so I hope nobody hears I'm a murder. You guys okay with us? Have you noticed how the names of the streets change for no apparent reason? This is Bowden at the intersection of what comes to Bouchard. You ever notice that every street crossing Washington Street changes its name on the opposite side? Have you been downtown? Spring Street goes into Summer Street into Winter Street. Forget about fall. There's no church in Church Street, no school in School Street, no court in Court Street, no spring in Spring Street, no milk in Milk Street, no water in Water Street, no beacon in Beacon Street. I'm a little confused. The north end is east, East Boston is south, and South Boston is west. Figure that out. Now, someone tried to convince me the reason they did this was so if the British ever came back for a 3rd time, they would get lost and turn around and go home again. Evidently it worked. The British Army left in 1776. The British Navy was here in 1812. We've not seen them since. In large numbers, they come a few at a time. Anyone see the movie Departed? After David Wahlberg,
Oh, yeah.
This was police headquarters.
Oh, yeah. They have it in the flight. Lufthansa had it in the mediathek.
Oh, really?
I looked at it yesterday. The first film on the flight.
No, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon grew up over here in Cambridge. Mark Wahlberg out in Dorchester. Mark Wahlberg's been doing a movie here for the past 3 or 4 weeks. And it seems like every Saturday and Sunday he's clogging up some street in the city of Boston. It's called Ted 2. I didn't see Ted 1, so I have no idea what this is all about. But Wahlberg, actually a while ago, did a very nice movie about Mickey Ward, the fighter. Very well done, I thought. But you know what surprised me about the movie? Christian Bale won an Academy Award for playing the part of Mickey's half-brother, Mickey. What surprised me was Christian Bale is not from New England. He has a better Boston accent than Ben Affleck. He's Welsh. You know, he's English. I have no idea. Now, the Big Dig took place on the other side of these buildings, from this side of town to the other side of town. Every day for 12 years, 150 separate construction projects going on 24/7. 3 tunnels, a bridge, some highways, some park area, and a whole list of problems. One problem they have a leaky tunnel. I want you to figure out, how do you build 2 tunnels underwater that are dry and dig a tunnel underground and leaks? They're a little over budget. Estimated completion cost 1987, $5.8 billion. The cost right now with interest over $20 billion. I'm trying to find someone to explain this to me. How much money is this? 9 zeros. After 5 or 6 zeros, I'm done. Really, no comprehension. Where all this money come from? Evidently 30% of it was funded by the government. And who's responsible for that? Thomas P. O'Neill. Tip O'Neill, Speaker of the House of Representatives, 1977-87. For his effort, they named a leaky tunnel after the guy. They named his building after him. And one of the things you'll find inside the O'Neill building is United States Bankruptcy Court. Go figure. And the building to your right replaces the old Boston Garden. This is a sports arena, a concert hall, among other things, a TD Garden, a Fleet Center, home of the Boston Bruins, the Boston Celtics, and a piece of the Big Dig to your right. The 2 uprights over here are the white cables. You know, until a year ago, that was actually the widest bridge of its kind in the world. It cost $100 billion to build. I don't know where else they could have done this, by the way. Build a 10-lane bridge into a 2-lane tunnel through the Rotary Circle. Nobody noticed. Now people ask where's a nice place to stay, so where do I direct them? I always send them to this building on the left. You notice there's massive Venetian blinds in every window, beautiful view of the Charles River to your right, cable television, 2 gymnasiums, fully air conditioned. They feed you 3 meals a day and it's free. This is the Suffolk County Jail. Nice view though. They're all innocent, by the way.
It's a very nice jail.
I have a very mixed group of people with me today. I got a question. Is everyone aware of the fact that I'm going to drive this truck into the Charles River?
Yes.
Do you know how many people ride with me that do not know that every year? 5 or 6. I'm at 5. I got 2 weeks left to find one more. I gotta bring my average up here, okay? 3 years ago, I'm at the top of the ramp. I'm ready to drive in the water. There's a lady sitting here in the front seat to grab the hold of my shirt and almost drag me onto the floor. She's got me pretty much pinned on the floor looking at me going, what are you doing? So my answer, of course, was driving into the river. The reply to that was, not with me or not, let me off. I got 36 people. This lady gets off, stands at the top of the ramp, I come back. I ask that question every day. I do not need surprises from you. I got too much going on up here normally. How many of you have driven in this city? What you think? I love driving in this city. Nearly every day I'm here, I have this lavender colored tank to drive around, which I do not own. You should see what this thing does to a taxi cab. It wasn't my fault. This is called America's Walking City. The best way to go around this town is to walk it or take the T. Driving is a bit confusing, and parking is a premium all over town. Over here to your left, Museum of Science, another one of our departure locations. Great place to get lost. There's all kinds of stuff to entertain yourself with. Have any of you ever been to a 3D movie theater? I haven't tried that. They have a 4D movie theater. Try it out. You'll figure that out. Now I need your attention because before we go on the river, I'm required to give you some safety information. If you pay attention to nothing else I say today, pay attention to this. Are you all ready? First, if cabin pressure here were to drop, oxygen masks like this fall from the ceiling. And you're looking up at the back, you all right? Over your heads, there are children's and adult life jackets. In an emergency, a child may wear an adult jacket. That's the best place for them right there. Life ring over my head, one in the back. Fire extinguisher next to me, one in the back seat. This is a VHF radio. It's monitored by the state police, the U.S. Coast Guard, the bridge tender over here, and this is a telephone. You ever lose in your pocket? This one's for you in the event I abandon ship and call for help. I have no idea where I go when medication wears off. They have a little trouble finding anyone sane to drive around the city 5 times a day. All right, and pay attention because this is Friday. Keep that in mind. EF Education. In front of you on the left, EF Education. Worldwide Education Organization, North American headquarters. North Point Park to your right. Part of 148 acres of park added to this city with a good day. And get your cameras ready because I'm going to stop out here so you can have this photo opportunity. So what do you all think of this project? No spots in it? Any idea what they're going to do over here? They're going to build a 40,000 square foot skateboard park. I'm really excited. They're going to sign language I'll learn. This skate park is scheduled to be completed this spring of 2007. When this is finished, they tell me it will be the second largest skateboard park in the country. The largest, Louisville, Kentucky. And to my knowledge, the only advertisement for this skate park anywhere in town is this billboard on your left. Figure that out. Now to turn this truck into a duck, what does a boat
Crazy.
need? A propeller. What does a boat not need? Wheels. I gotta drop the wheels off right here. We will pick them up on the way back. So when you hear the wheels fall, count 6. Are you ready? Listen. Is that 6? You didn't count. Are you kidding me? It's been like this all day. All right, well, I'm gonna try it anyway. You ready? Now, please do not go home and try this. But tell me this is not cool. 20,000 pounds of floating farm machinery. And I'm blowing horn here, so don't be alarmed. You know, every time I come by this place, I look over here at the Suffolk County Jailhouse and I wonder why did they not build a hotel in this location? And I'm often wondering also, what kind of a crime you would commit for the Riverside Swing? 3 meals a day with this lovely view. This is the Charles River. Starting in the Hopkinton, meandering its way down to Boston Harbor behind you. This river is 80 miles long. A couple of things to think about. The trauma this river has undergone over the years. At one time, this whole basin that we're traveling on today used to be over a mile across. A lot of this is mud flats and low tide until 1908. They built this lock and dam system here in front of you. Now, this old lock system we're going to travel through today no longer operates. And it was very inadequate to start with. I mean, the reason for this was gravity fed, which meant they only had 2 small windows every day to drain water out of the river during the flood. Just before and just after low tide, twice a day. So they replaced all of this with a good water dam behind in 1978. The problem they had was all oxygen. That base was all done. This calculation was made with such a street line Boston Harbor. Then the lagoon and the bubble gun and the flood gun started, it still has tide in it. Well, we completely empty at high tide on the bubble. But the problem they encountered when they built the dams across this river was they kept the seawater out to flood the basin with fresh water. Now, the calamity of changing the ecosystem really didn't make much difference because the river was already pretty much a disaster. By 1908, figured nearly 300 years, everyone lived up in the sewerage in the river, thinking it would come down here and be taken away by the tide. That didn't work. By the 1970s, there was a huge calamity going on here. There was a song played on the radio called Dirty Water, and it puts out Dirty River. Now, the reason we're out here on the river today is because the last couple of decades, it's a huge success story currently. 5 out of the last 6 years has been voted with the top 5 urban rivers in the country until this year is now number 1. How's your reaction today? Is your road safe for boating? You can swim in the river most of the year. There's fish in the river, freshwater fish. Herring go back to spawning and there's wildlife. There's got these seagulls cormorants. And the reason they built this dam here, think about what it was like here on a hot summer day at that low tide, while the pollution lying on the mud flats, especially with the hot summer sun. It wasn't very friendly. I had a blow that morning. You know, in 1900, they thought that if they built this dam, they would flood the basin and hide all their pollution problems. And basically, all this was to contain their pollution problems. East Cambridge at that time, off to the right, was heavy industry. They wanted ships and barges to be able to come out of here 24/7. Selling point, they said they'd create a recreation area and a beauty spot. They succeeded in that fashion. More yacht boats than basic today. Sailing programs, rowing crews, paddle boarders, kayakers, windsurfers. And this summer, actually today as well, I've seen people fishing in this river. They're almost all morning fishing on this river. I've heard of 2 decades ago. Boston Harbor is also part of the success story. I mentioned this was Friday. Nobody could complain back there. I was okay with this. This is your Sunday, correct? Your Sunday is my Friday. I go home tonight. I've been here for a few days, so I get to. You guys have any questions? No questions. Huh. You're gonna sit there and let me talk. You can make me do everything, aren't you? If you guys have questions about anything I say, that I do not say, anything you see, I'm glad to answer questions for you. What's that? You gonna drive? While you're sitting there. Come up here. I'll talk to her, you guys. How old are you? 6? You know how to drive? You do? All right, don't look at me. Watch me going. Now, I'm wondering if these guys would like to know why I would allow a 6-year-old that I've never met before in my entire life drive a $365,000 piece of equipment. I did mention I do not own this stuff, did I not? Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't look at them. Watch where you're going. Now, this bridge in front of you was built in 1910. It's currently undergoing a 5-year restoration project. Go this way a little bit. Now, normally there's 4 towers in the bridge. 2 have been removed to be restored. They have no functional use whatsoever. I thought they looked like lighthouses. But evidently I'm the only person that thinks this. I call this the Salt and Pepper Bridge. Salt and Pepper Shakers? I don't know.
The salt and pepper.
You know what they named the bridge after? Guy from Portland, Maine, 100 miles away. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. No for poetry. Go. Stop right there. Come back this way, Linda. Keep going. Keep going. You heard of us? You're not nervous. You'll check out some of the people behind you. Right? All part of Boston. Over here, you're right. Now, the Shama Peninsula I mentioned earlier on basically consists of the north end, part of downtown, Beacon Hill, to Boston Park. You know, there actually used to be 3 mountains over to the left, Alberta Park, Beacon, they only part of Beacon Hill survives. Alberta about covers it pretty much like Beacon Hill all once you run in there. All down to the hospital that way. So I got real estate, they had to do something. There's no real estate bill. And they built it in the state house and got the Beacon Hill. Beacon Hill at one time was all the state house. That's good. Someone asked me about the gold and stuff in the state house today. Something like that. They weren't, is that real gold in the state house? 13 pounds, 23 pounds, maybe. I would have to be able to carry it. Alright, I'm going to take over for you. You're welcome, thank you. One person, 5 trips will drive it down. Hey, I got a question for you. Do you have any idea what 500 acres looks like? Remember, 3,300 acres of man-made land. That's 5.5 square miles. 500 acres. See the church steeple on the left? That's the Church of the Advent at the very base of Beacon Hill. Start at that church steeple, follow the skyline to the Citgo sign, the red triangle. That's 500 acres. They used to be water. That's the back thing. Now the Citgo sign is a historical registered landmark. I have no idea why. A little bit to the left of the Citgo sign is Fenway Park over the Boston Red Sox, who didn't have the finest year of the season. To the right of the Citgo sign is Boston University. Over here on the right-hand side, the river is MIT. Harvard's a little further upriver. Within a 25-mile radius of the State House, there 55 colleges and universities. In the same 25-mile radius, I have found 363 Irish pubs. We started out for the Prudential Building. This is the building with the big antenna standing on top of it. Top restaurant, skywalk on top of it. The building with the black stripe, the new John Hancock Tower, left it out with the round top in the middle is the Berkeley building that left the Berkeley with the eagle on top of it. See the old John Hancock Tower? I want you to look at those three buildings, take a picture of them. Remember what they look like right now. When I drive you back to Copley Square, I am going to move all three of those buildings. You will not be sitting in this position. The dome that's on your right is called the Hatch Shelf because it's movies, spring, summer, fall. Big event down here today, walk for breast cancer. 4th of July, the Boston Bobs, pre-concert, and there's a fireworks as well. It got rained down this year. Probably on the 4th of July, there are about 500,000 people on the banks of the river, 4,000 boats here in the basin. Nice to see that sun. Yeah, they needed this bridge, I think, to go onto a phone fellow. This guy was from Portland, Maine. London Cambridge here for a while as a professor at Harvard University. And of course they named it because of his poetry. Known for Hiawatha, Evangeline, the Miller Smith, and most importantly the Midnight Rider Paul Revere. Some of you probably heard that poem, which is a waste of time. 1865, arrive only, got all the credit, never finished the ride. Well, what are you sitting there for? Come on. I asked you to start with you said no. What's that? Let me get these guys. You want to drive too? How many more drivers have they got? I said no to start with. They got 2? All right. I'm limited by time out here trying to split up these kids. How old are you? 7. Where are you from? India? Bombay, Calcutta, Delhi. Where are you guys from? Oh, okay. Well, I just wondered, you could take one of these things back with a trunk road with you, once it's season you'll be able to kid around with it. You know how to drive? No? Just check it out. I got 2 more children back here. Yeah, you want to send one of them up there? Oh yeah, man, I got 2 more that said to get up here. All right, now give this young man a round of applause. Give me 5. Universal language right there. But just one at a time is fine. Just one at a time. Now, how old are you? That's what I'm talking. So, over here to your right is Massachusetts General Hospital. And aside here are 28 hospitals in the city of Boston. Mass General opened a museum here a few years ago. Like, it is free to visit. They have glass display cases throughout the museum with old surgical instruments, which are kind of scary to look when you walk through there and they look at saws and have an idea what they were for. And then from Atlanta a few months ago, only the reason they looked so scary is because there was no anesthetic. You were awake when they were doing surgery. They didn't do any internal surgery. It was more things like outside surgery. But 1846 here in the Ethanol, Massachusetts General Hospital was the first publicized use of ether as an anesthetic or a surgery procedure. 28 hospitals in Boston, there's stuff going on all over the city, research, all kinds of fun things happening. What are you looking that way for? Watch where you're going. Can you turn this way a little bit? Turn this way a little bit? That's good. Back that way a little bit. Right that way.
Good.
watch your step. Give me a round of applause too, would you? What? What's his name? What? What? Well, you just said what? Everything is what? What? Here, look at him. How old are you? How old are you? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? 7? You had to ask somebody else, you don't know how old he is. You with him? Okay, just checking. Now, where are you guys from? Dominican Republic? So have you been to Boston before? Okay. Cold here, isn't it? Yeah. What do you know the other stuff? Come here in the summer. Come here in February. It snows? Oh, okay. Yeah, can you go just that way a little bit? Yeah, this way. Like this. Keep going. Yeah, back this way. Run this way. Keep going. Hold on. Keep going. 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 There we go. Okay. Alright, I'm going to take over for you, alright? So watch your step. Give me a round of applause. Thank you, guys. It took this young lady to get all those guys up here driving stuff. Are you kidding? Huh? Yeah. Have any of you folks ever been on a duck before? Have any of you ever know one of these things anywhere else in the city of Boston? You know where you're going to find ducks today? They're all over the world. They're in Ireland, England, Europe, Australia, Singapore, Mexico, Canada, Okinawa. They're all over the United States. Did you know that every company in every city is privately owned? They have no association with these other owned. The only thing in common they have is where these things came from. And this thing that you're riding on right now, this is a replica of a World War II duck. This is built in 2009. Currently, there is only one World War II duck left in this state today. And it sits in the garage every day because it's retired. It will no longer do tours. It's a parade duck only. And the reason they retired those old ducks is they were having a little difficulty finding parts for a truck that was built between 1942 and 1945. Let alone a truck that floats and has the Coast Guard comes every year. Now the old duck was basically a 2.5-ton General Motors chassis, the watertight shell. This is a newer version of that chassis. These are a little bit larger than the old ducks. They ride a lot better. They have a whole lot more legroom. I've always been very fascinated with the design and development of those things in 1942. Right after this country ended World War II, someone basically came up with something overnight that no one had ever seen before. And what truly amazed me is how quickly they did all of this. From the first drawing to the first rolling prototype was 46 days. And within 90 days, those things were in full production, and less than 3 years of money, which the General Motors built 21,000 of those things. I've also used all the things they thought about to make them more. One of the things that their plan was they would launch those from the ship at sea, send to the shore where there are no port facilities, water spin material. Primarily to use applications in Europe, sometimes you want they were thinking very clearly from the onset because, you know, you want something that is from the ship at sea, getting it out of the water once you get to shore can be a problem. You find a place like a beach that's a very steady, gentle incline, it's pretty easy to just drive over the water. You can pick a spot like the bank of the river here, the ramp is an example of this also. The bottom drops off very quickly. And that means you catch the shoreline in front of this thing, rear wheels are not going to be touching the ground. And there's a problem because the propeller's not push it up the hill. The front wheels have to have the ability to pull it. You have to have the ability to go from rear wheel to all wheel. And the other conception of this is that somebody's going to bring it in the back. You still grab it on the front wheel. Stop here, put the wheels back into gear. Now some of the drawbacks of the old ducks. This is a diesel engine in it, which makes a lot more sense to me, being a diesel as well as volatile as gasoline. The old duck, before they put the sides, the roof, and the seats of those things, do this sort of thing with them, they weigh 15,000 pounds and are powered by a 6-cylinder gas engine, which is rated at 98 horsepower. They ended up with a Chevy Nova in the 1960s, a straight six. And all the literature says on land, they will go 50 miles an hour. And I must confess this, driving distance around the city, 25 miles an hour, they sound like they will explode. In the water, they cruise at 6 miles an hour. So I never imagined smoking the beach of the ship that fired 6 miles an hour, which is approximately the speed of
Yeah, I have to always film. Oh, that was, yeah, it's so short. Yeah.
Now if this works correctly.
Yes, now 4 gigabyte.
I'm sorry?
4
Front
gigabyte.
wheels
Yeah.
pull. Rear wheels are right there. I'll disconnect the propeller, disconnect the front wheels. We have a successful landing. A little noise for dog to duck. While we're leaving this scenic area, look above your heads and all around you. This all new highway above us, part of the Big Dig project. It's all made of concrete. And if you were to take all the concrete they used in the Big Dig, and you were to build a sidewalk,
Yeah, now we're driving again.
from Boston to San Francisco, back again, 3 times.
Whoa.
Now you have education. Well, I mentioned them earlier, they do about 250,000 students foreign exchange student programs every year. And they haven't finished this building behind you on the left, so I don't know how many people are going to be employed in that building when it's finished, but the building they currently have is over 400 people employed in this building. Nearly everyone working here speaks 2, many of them 3 or more languages fluent. Now, what do you call someone who speaks 3 languages? Trilingual? 2 languages? Bilingual? 1 language? Come on. 1 language? American. You're laughing. That's true. That's sad, but it's true. Called Bunker Hill Bay. And in front of us on the right, you guys get tall, but you're sitting up here above the viaduct. How tall is the Bunker Hill Bay? To find something that's right. Why do we celebrate this battle of holiday? Or the trouble building an Egyptian obelisk in the middle of an Irish neighborhood to celebrate a battle they lost to the British. More confusing is the Bunker Hill Bay is on Greenstone. It's church opening the left St. Francis to half a mile away is on Bunker's Hill, because the battle of Bunker's Hill took place in Greenstone. Figure that out, let me know. Now, the maps of the time, they called all the highlands up to what used to be the Peninsula of Bunker's Hill. The reason they celebrate the lost battle is proved. A bunch of farmers who stand up to the professional farming. Clear as mud. Fire truck action going down here in front of us. Now the bridge I showed you, a nice view of it from this direction right here. Now the name of this bridge, believe it or not, this is the Leonard P. Zakum Bunker Hill Memorial Freedom Bridge. There'll be a test on this later. Now I thought they should have called that the Billy Buckner Bridge because you drive through the legs of it, but no one remembers that growing up in 1986. Now football season. side of the buildings on your left here is the Charlestown Naval Shipyard. This is also free to visit, as is the Buckaroo Monument. 2 ships, 2 museums, all free of charge. One of the ships you can board over here, if you look to your left, you'll see 3 masts, the USS Constitution, Old Ironsides. The ship was launched in Boston in 1797. Now the Zega Bridge, Revere Park, is both part of the big name and the place what we went through in the dock earlier, a little more sophisticated, that old log system. Boston Harbor off to your left. And I caught in American history. On the night of Power Beer's famous Midnight Ride, young Robert Newman was directed to climb a church steeple to light 2 lanterns as a backup signal. I was never made it to watch it. But there's the old North Church. City, part of the old Summer Peninsula, is where everybody lived in the early 70s. If you like Italian food, this is the part of town you want to look for. One little lake, beautiful part of town to walk through and enjoy the narrow cobblestone streets and alleyways. Here you walk out through those narrow cobblestone streets and kind of get a sense of this town of the 1700s. If you were in this city more than 5 or 6 years ago, this is your first time back, this will be unrecognizable. What is missing right here is a 6-lane interstate highway. If you were to start a mile on the other side of the bridge, come down here above your head, there used to be an elevated highway that ran through the heart of the Southeast Expressway built in the 1950s. They've torn it all down, relocated 195,000 vehicles right under the city in this new tunnel that they've done. Now, amazing part of what went on in Boston, all the construction sites, 150 of them, 3 tunnels, digging a tunnel under a city without moving or displacing any moving business. Now, if you drink coffee, there's little places like Cup of Coffee all over town. There's 121 Dunkin' Donuts, 37 Starbucks, 3 Honeydew. That's not why they call this place Bean Town. But you notice there's a vacant space above Dunkin' Donuts? What do you think about curves? That's what I tried above Dunkin' Donuts. An exercise gym. I thought it was a great idea. Now on your left, there are 6 glass towers. This is the Northern Holocaust Memorial, which commemorates 6 million Jewish victims of World War II. This is a very mod movie monument to walk through, reading descriptions by survivors. Out behind it there on the left is Blackstone Square, the oldest commercial district in town. You also find the Union Oyster House, favorite dining spot for Daniel Webster, John Kennedy. Here to your right, City Hall Plaza. This is Up behind it is Durga Park, Quincy Market. A little further up to the left, you find the waterfront, New England Aquarium. Find the ice car out here at Quincy Market. Now right here in front of us, March 5th, 1770, this is the site of the Boston Massacre. This was not a massacre, it was self-defense by the soldiers using propaganda. And here's the old State House. And notice the balcony in the front of the old State House is currently during our bicentennial in 1976, we are celebrating our 200th birthday. Who showed up with us tonight? Queen Elizabeth. She is the first reigning British monarch ever to step foot in this city. They invited her to speak in the balcony. She agreed. The Queen actually got on that balcony, started by apologizing for what had happened and asked for the colonies back. Just checking to see who's still with me. She did speak here. She did not say that. Alright, I'm lost. You guys read street signs? What's the street sign say on the left? Tremont. What's that street sign say on the right? Cambridge. What's that street sign say on the right? Scully Square. 3 name changes right here in front of you. The King's Chapel Burial Ground is coming up on the left. Now these are called burial grounds around town because unlike a cemetery, you did not own the plot of land where you were buried. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of souls buried in these little pieces of ground. Now, in the King's Chapel Burial Ground, you'll find John Winthrop, the first Royal Governor of Massachusetts, William Dawes, the man who rode with Paul Revere and got no credit for anything. And on the other side of the burial ground is Old Boston City Hall. King's Chapel Church here in the corner. The next corner on the left is the Parker House Hotel, home of the Parker House Roll, Boston Cream Pie. Now, when you hear the name Sam Adams, what do you guys think of? Beer, I'm assuming. That's all anybody ever thinks of. They never talk about Patriots. Sam Adams never brewed a drop of beer in his lifetime, but the Beantown Pub when he left, the only place in the world you can sit and drink Sam Adams, look across the street, toast his headstone. The obelisk in the middle, Ben Franklin's parents and siblings, parents in Philadelphia. Reason I have no idea. John Hancock, Paul Revere, Robert Freeman, Peter Daniel. The guy here on your right, James Otis, known for his praise of 1765 taxation. That's how representation is too. And also in the Great Lake Burial Ground, which is the reason for my nightmares, actually. Elizabeth Foster Goose.
And Sam Adams.
Mother Goose. Known for her children's bedtime stories, which I will contest. You remember any of her stories? Rockabye Baby. There's a tragic ending, there's a crash. You remember the nutcase living in a shoe? What about the lunatic with kitchen utensils chasing 3 blind mice? And the one that always troubled me the most, Rub-a-Dub-Dub. Where do you go with a story like this? Boston Comedy Game. It can be a lot of fun if the weather's good. And if you're going to do the Freedom Trail, it'll take you at least 2 days. It's not that long a walk, it's arduous in a few spots, but spend time at all those 16 sites. Visit some of the, enjoy some of the activities you'll find in Garden Grove. And a few pubs along the way. I think it took me 4. Now over here to your left, about 4 or 5 blocks, is one of my favorite parts of the city, Chinatown. The problem with this, we cannot go to Chinatown.
You have seen one? A squirrel?
Oh, no.
The little ant.
Also on the left here, past the Lowe's
This little duck, the second tree,
Yeah.
it's right in the middle.
Jay Leno.
Ah,
you
yes.
see it?
Yeah. I think I have it on too.
Bill Pardo, Saturday Night Live.
We think of it as a
1942
pest.
graduate.
No, we don't
Professor
want to
here
see
at Wilson
that.
College. Jay Leno, he would
You have it in your,
I think I have it in the video.
no, I mean in your, near your house or,
Also, no.
no, you don't
No,
have
it's
it. No,
original.
because for me it's
actually
very
tells you
strange, a
1733
squirrel, you don't have it
The
in
first
your
Masonic
house.
Lodge in North America.
Yeah, it's really strange.
And many of our founding fathers worked
Even my
in this.
cousins, when they came from Italy, when my cousins
Over
came
your
from
right.
Italy, they were fascinated by
You'll
the
find the central
squirrels. They
burial
never
ground.
saw them.
Here you'll find a
They thought it
gentleman
was so
from Rhode
cute.
Island. His name was
Yeah.
Gilbert Stewart.
We see so many, it's
Guess
like, and they
there
get
is
into
not a
the
soul on
trash,
this
and they
duck that
leave
knows
the
the name
nuts
Gilbert
everywhere
Stewart.
in the yard, so
Get
you
every
think
one
they're
of you
paid.
You have here the Grand Lodge of Massachusetts?
Most famous painter.
Freemason's Lodge?
Yes.
That of George Washington.
Yeah.
No, one of many portraits he did
I
of
thought it
George
was just
Washington.
an American club.
For some reason, he painted many portraits of George Washington. That's one that he never finished. They chose that one for the dollar bill. Most of it's wrong. The bust of it
Great.
was raw canvas.